Ain't no reason for it to be
Mhm.
long.
I know.
I don't know why you say
I
that,
know.
though, because every time.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I hope it does too.
It's my pleasure to call to order the Peoria Public School Board of Education meeting for October 11th to order. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus? Mr. Murphy?
Here.
Dr. Ranking?
Here.
Mr. Shaw?
Here.
Mrs. Ross? President Wilson?
Here.
We have 7 present.
Thank you. Would you please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to announcements, we will start with Mr. Mike Murphy and go in order.
Thank you. The Peoria Public Schools Foundation 9th Annual Wine and Whiskey Walk will be held Saturday, October 16th from 1 to 6 p.m. at the Junction City Shopping Center. Sample over 30 wines and whiskeys and delicious treats while you enjoy live entertainment and explore the Junction City shops. Tickets are now on sale at ppsfoundation.org. Volunteers also are needed to staff tasting tables and for setup and cleanup. I will actually be one of those volunteers as well. The Wine and Whiskey Walk is brought to you by Junction City Shopping Center, Born to Events, and the Peoria Public Schools Foundation.
Thank you, Mike. Chase?
IB information meeting for parents. Richwoods High School will host an informational meeting for parents on the IB program from 6 to 7 tomorrow, October 12th. IB applications are posted on the school website. Applications are due Friday, November 5th. For details, contact IB coordinator Tom Hayes at thomas.hayes@psd150.org.
Thank you, Chase. Mr. Shaw?
PSAT opportunity for 8th graders. All 8th grade students will have the opportunity to take the PSAT assessment the week of October 25th. This is the first year Peoria Public Schools is piloting this opportunity for our 8th grade students. This no-stakes test shows students and teachers how far along students are in developing the skills they need for success in high school and college. This is a paper/pencil test, and it is 2.5 hours assessing reading, writing, and math skills. Students will leave middle school at 9:30 and return at 1:30. Each high school is looking forward to welcoming potential future freshmen. Test results for parents and schools will be available the first week of December. We're excited about providing this opportunity to our 8th grade students, parents, and teachers. If you have additional questions, please contact your middle school principal. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Parent-teacher conferences will be held Monday and Tuesday, October 18th and 19th. Principals and teachers will be sending home details on conference scheduling. Virtual conferences are also available. Peoria Public Schools fall break will be held October 20th, 21st, and 22nd, with classes resuming on Monday, October 25th. And then the Mind Over Matter book drive will provide books that shift the mindset and provide therapy to the Peoria County Juvenile Detention Center Library. Books can be dropped off at the Boys and Girls Club locations at 2703 West Grinnell Street or 805 Kansas Street, or at the Peoria Public School Administration Building. Monetary donations are also welcome. For information, contact Gregory Wilson at 513-578-4409.
Principals Appreciation Month. October is Principals Appreciation Month. Thank you to all our PPS building principals for providing outstanding leadership to staff members and students. Make sure to show your appreciation to our amazing principals. And don't forget, school bus drivers appreciation is also coming up in October. This is October, as a matter of fact. I have another one. Wraparound Center Free Legal Workshop. The Wraparound Center is hosting a free legal workshop for PPS school parents from 10 a.m. to noon on Saturday, October 16th. Attorney Yolanda Riley will present information on family law, expungements and sealing, guardianship and minors, and others to protect the landlords and tenants negotiations. RSVP by calling 309-282-1919. I'm sorry, it was orders of protection. So there's guardianship of minors and orders of protection and landlord-tenant negotiations. So that's 309-282-1919.
Physicals and immunizations are due this Friday, October 15th. Physicals and immunizations deadline to all parents of kindergarten, 6th grade, 9th grade, and 12th grade students. The deadline for your student to be in compliance with their mandatory physicals and immunizations is this Friday, October 15th. If you have not done so already, please turn in your paperwork or proof of an appointment scheduled. You can set up an appointment at any of the Unity Point health clinics located at Treewin, Peoria High, or Manual.
PSA auditions. Peoria High School's Preparatory School for the Arts, PSA, will hold auditions for PPS 8th grade students the week of November 1st through the 5th. Students can audition for program in choir, dance, drama, band, orchestra, or the visual arts. Details on the PSA program and auditions are on the school website, or you may contact mara.shepherd@psd150.org. Thank you.
To announce, announcement, second announcement, we'd like to acknowledge our bulletin boards. And over here we have bulletin boards designed by Dr. Maud Sanders students. So thank you for those schools there. Next we have awards and recognition. Mr. Brook, would you like to approach the podium?
President Wilson, Vice President Ross, Dr. Crott, members of the board. We're really excited today to present to you the first of our 2021 Those Who Excel Award winners. As you might recall, we did our first official announcement of these award recipients back in August during our all-staff convocation and return back to school. Again, this is a yearly tradition we have to honor and recognize the best of the best that we have in the staff members in all walks of our school district who are really impacting our students, our school buildings, our staff. This year, they're typically during most of Those Who Excel award years, the winners from each school district move on to a statewide competition, and those are announced in October. This year, they actually switched that up a little bit, and I think that's going to be the process moving forward, that the statewide competition is actually going to occur in the spring, which means that we can spread the level a little bit out over multiple meetings here to present them with their official award and just bring them up here to recognize them in front of you, the board members. And again, I just want to stress that if you read the submissions for these award winners for this year and all years, it really is quite an honor. And these staff members, these groups, these teams are going above and beyond for our students, and it's really inspirational. So our first category that we're going to honor today is in the Educational Services Personnel category, and with that, I'm going to invite Manual Principal Devin Hawks up there to present that award winner.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting us today. I'm very, very excited to introduce Sergeant Christopher Ortwig, who we call him Sergeant O, from Manual. He is over our JROTC. He is phenomenal in every way, and I could go on forever, so I won't. I'll just read a little bit of the submissions that our students and our staff wrote about him. One student said, Sergeant O is a man with a truly pure heart, one of the most inspirational and motivating teachers I've ever met. When I met Sergeant O my freshman year of high school, on my first day of JROTC, at first, I thought he was a scary guy. But as the school year went on and I got used to this new way of school, I gave him a chance. And when I tell you I loved his class, I truly enjoyed it. She also says Sergeant O puts his students above himself, putting their well-being and safety above all else. A staff member said, Sergeant O has brought his expertise and wisdom of the U.S. Army to the students of our district. He is very knowledgeable of JROTC curriculum and available for co-curricular activities. He strives to make sure that the program achieves the highest recognition by the Army, which is honor unit with distinction. They also said he helps give students a sense of belonging that they may have been looking for in other places. He also helps students to see potential within themselves that they may not have seen. He's very nurturing and respectful. He builds relationships with every single student in his class. Not only does he work with students, he's also great with adults. He took the initiative to join Manual's ULT and is a chair for the elective classes. He can be counted on to collaborate with his coworkers and represent their interests with the team. I have personally gotten to know Sergeant O. He's been so encouraging to me as a newer principal. He's been one of those go-getters when we have issues going on in our building. He is the first one to try to help us come up with a solution. And the kids are the exact same way. He has students that he has made the staff, and they run the JROTC. They do presentations for us. They plan things for the school. They hold each other accountable. They mentor the younger students. And I could not ask for a better JROT instructor. So with that, you wanna say anything? We're going to make him say something. You also have to hear his voice.
I didn't know I was supposed to speak. Sorry. All right. First of all, I want to thank Dr. Karat for putting trust in me. She was the principal of Manual that hired me, so I apologize for that. And Mrs. Hawks, most definitely, who puts her trust in me every day. I learned a long time ago that I think I just hit 34 years with the Army, so I learned a long time ago that nobody cares what a leader knows until they know how much that leader cares. And I brought that philosophy to my kids at school and loved every minute of it ever since. Been here 13 years now, that's about it.
Congrats, Sean.
There you go.
Nice.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you. We are now at the point of presentation by audience. Presentations by audience are limited to 5 minutes, and we ask that you keep them constructive. Our first presentation, our only presentation today, would be from Mr. Steve B. I want to say the last name's Branch, right? Okay.
There you go. I'm going to take just a few seconds. I went through 10 years of respirator training, and all your masks and stuff that they're telling you got to wear and stuff. Try wearing this for 8 hours. This is what protects you from bacteria and diseases and contaminants and stuff. this mirage, this phony game of masks, these divisional dividers and stuff. Everything's about division today. The principal from Manual just presented somebody with an award. Let's try unity. Let's try being friends with each other. Let's start being like American people. With that being said, Ms. Karat, I've made a dozen phone calls to your office to set up a time that I could come in and talk with you, and I've been turned down. I haven't had one reply back. You've made more money in 5 years than I have in 52 years of my working. And I went through the rules and duties and stuff of this board. And one of your duties is to suggest changes to curriculum, more effective, to take advantage of improved teaching methods and materials. This is exactly what I've been trying to get in contact with you about. CRT, that's about division. All these laws and stuff that our lawmakers are putting out here is dividing people. Now, I was looking in on here on the operations of the schools, the school boards, and the curriculum and stuff like that. And a lot of it's got to do here with citizenship. This is what we're supposed to be teaching kids in school. Citizenship, patriotism, principles of freedom. And in section 12, the United States history. And in other parts of it, black history, including history of African American slave trade, slavery in America, slavery in the country, the struggles and contributions of African Americans. Here's books that we should be reading by William Nell about the black patriots of 1776 and 1812. This is not CRT, not critical race theory, critical race thinking, being proud. Instead of trying to teach these kids that they're victims, that they're products of slavery, they're very well products of patriots, black patriots. I got a few names here. I don't know if any of you familiar with it or not. William Ellison, Antoine Ducelet, Marie Metoyer, Widow Richards, Justice. Oh, sorry, those aren't patriots. Those are black slave owners. If we're going to teach about slavery in this country, let's teach about all of it, 100%. Mr. Wilson and I had a conversation. And he asked me, when in our history have we taught 100% of the truth? Right now is when we start teaching 100% of the truth. We're wanting to take the names of founding fathers off of schools. No, that's teaching kids how to hate people. How many of you heard of people like James Artisat, Crispus Attucks, Peter Williams, Prince Estabrooks, Jordan Noble, Oliver Cromwell, Prince Whipple? How many of you, these names are you familiar with? How many of these kids would be familiar with the names of who were teaching them the truth? 92% of the immigrants coming here to sign up to go through U.S. citizenship, taking our constitutional test, pass it. 7% of our high school students can only pass the same test we give our immigrants. Now, Ms. Karat, I've asked to come in and talk with you about the very principles you and this board are supposed to be teaching our kids. We got to teach unity. We got to teach the truth. We just can't take one part of history and say this is what it is. We got to teach it all, and it's about doggone time we do it. And if I offended anybody, call the U.S. Attorney General. I'll have a talk with him too. I will make another phone call and see if I can get any place this time.
Thank you, sir. Thank you to yourself, Steve. We now have response to audience presentation. Dr. Karat.
Thank you, President Wilson. Just wanting to thank Mr. Stephen for his thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now at item number 8, approval of minutes. Is there a motion to approve?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus?
Aye.
Mr. Murphy?
Aye.
Dr. Ranking? Mr. Shaw?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross?
Aye.
President Wilson?
Aye.
7 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 1 under information items, superintendent update.
Yeah, thank you, President Wilson. Thank you, Board. Just a quick update. We're happy to be back in school for sure to provide in-person learning to our students. Again, PPS, we continue to focus on student engagement, equitable student achievement, social emotional challenges facing some of our schools, and ongoing system of transformation. As a reminder, we have that 5-year strategic plan that you approved, which is to reimagine education that ignites passion and empowers students to be responsible and successful. And this is done through 5 strategies around personalizing learning, a lot around embedding social emotional into not only the learning, but also our work with staff, also increasing family engagement, adult engagement, community engagement, highlighting more positive things that's happening, promoting the positive activities and achievements that's occurring in our buildings and in our district. And then the last strategy is continuing to reimagine the work that we're doing. So we are passionately and intentionally addressing the growing social emotional challenges that were magnified by the past and continuous COVID-19 environment. Our daily work includes continuing to do more to support the whole child by ensuring that all schools address physical, health, and developmental of learners, their academic achievement, and also their social emotional well-being. We continue to work hard to focus on the whole child. This morning, for example, and we get this information every day thanks to the work of Coach Booth and his department, the Wraparound Center. We received data from Smart Alert or Handle with Care. Some of you may have heard of the Handle with Care. So we receive information, for example, this morning related to 26 kids in 12 buildings where there was indication that children in the homes may have been impacted by traumatic events over the weekend. And so, this is the ACEs that we talk about, adverse childhood experiences, whether it's mental health, death, divorce, abandonment, abuse, illness, neglect, lack of resources, depression, malnutrition, anxiety, homelessness, and so forth. So we get that information, and Coach Booth and his team, they work with principals, and each building has a champion, and those ID numbers then become individuals, and then they're having conversations with them. So I wanted to give that example just to give a sense of, the daily things that we have to work through. And that's our work, and we'll continue to do it the very best that we can. Just a quick reminder, it was one of the board members' announcement, parent conferences will be held. They're coming up, and we're also asking our buildings to reimagine that experience for our families in a variety of ways, whether it's virtual or in person or a combination thereof. And families can contact their school if they've not been given information about that. And then just a quick celebration today, this afternoon at the administration building at 1:30, we cheered on 2 Grow Your Own candidates who signed letters of commitment to teach at Peoria Public Schools starting in January. So they'll be graduating in December from Bradley University. So congratulations to Zatea Bishop and Nakia Quatero. We are really, really proud of them. Actually, I had Zatea at Manual when I was a principal there, so I'm really proud of her. And a big thank you to Miss Linda Wilson for being the champion and the leader of the Grow Your Own Teacher Initiative. And there are more individuals in the wings waiting to complete and to work for PPS. The good thing is, we believe it's a good investment because they're from the area, so chances are they'll stay. I know Zatia's mom was there at the ceremony and her grandma, they were there as well, and just all very proud of her. And again, congratulations to both Zatia and Nakia. And as it relates to strategy 2 of our strategic plan, actually strategy 3 of our strategic plan, engaging families in our community, we currently have hired 11 parent advocates for buildings, and there are 5 more pending, and they're helping out in classrooms and in buildings, and I'm told making a very significant difference. So in closing, each one of us at Peoria Public Schools, we will admit that this year is tough. As a district, staff are truly navigating this uncharted territory very well. Our staff are resilient and continue to find ways to meet the academic and social and emotional needs of each child. And I just wanted to say thank you to each one for his or her strength as they go along to prepare our children for the future, as we go along to preparing our children for the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Karat. Any response to the superintendent update? Seeing none. Item number 2, proposed expenditures over $2,500. Questions for Mr. Willis? Seeing none. Item number 3, report of requests under the Freedom of Information Act and the status of such requests. Dr. Karat.
Thank you, President Wilson. Since our board meeting report on September 23rd, we received 0 new requests. There were 2 pending requests noted on September 27th. Both have been closed. So to date, we have received 24 requests for this calendar year at a grand total of $1,200. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice President, we are now ready for the consent agenda. Vice President Ross.
Thank you. The consent agenda consists of gifts to the school district. Year-to-date, $41,733.93. Donations valued at, for this term, donations valued at $250 by Adria Ost, I hope I said that right, cash and school supplies for Rolling Acres. Donations valued at $3,043.94 by Michelle Largent. Various items for Richwoods. Donations valued at $1,186.63 by Jody Farmer. School supplies for PPS. Number 2, payment of bills. Number 3, payment of travel. Number 4, human resources report. Number 5, approval of an update to the intergovernmental agreement with the City of Peoria for the use of the radio tower on Grandview Drive by the Peoria Public Schools Transportation Department. Number 6, intergovernmental agreement with the Park District of Peoria, Illinois. And number 7, memorandum of understanding with the Peoria Federation of Teachers, Local 780, regarding the Chance Light program. That is the entirety of the consent agenda.
Thank you, Vice President Ross. Is there any items board members would like to pull for a separate vote? Any discussion on the agenda item? Seeing none, is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Madam Secretary?
Mrs. Costick? Mr. Claus.
Aye.
Mr. Murphy.
Aye.
Dr. Rankin. Mr. Shaw. Mrs. Ross.
Aye.
President Wilson.
Aye.
7 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Deliberation agenda. Someone read?
The deliberation agenda is expulsion, with the expulsion to be held in abeyance, and we are presenting as proposed. So moved.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded. Madam Secretary?
Mrs. Costick. Mr. Claus. Mr. Murphy.
Aye.
Dr. Rankin. Mr. Shaw.
Aye.
Mrs. Ross.
Aye.
President Wilson.
Aye.
7 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Presentations and suggestions by board members. Dr. Annie Reinking.
This past weekend, I had the opportunity to go to the launching of the Legacy Wall at the library on Bradley campus. If you don't know about the Legacy Wall, this is part of the LGBTQ history that we are implementing here at Peoria Public Schools. With partnership between Central Illinois Friends, the Holt Center, and many community members who are on that committee and who have been working last year and this year to get staff members safe zone trained, to understand how to use this supplemental resource. I would encourage all Peoria Public School families and anyone else to go and see the Legacy Wall. This weekend, we had the opportunity to hear from the co-founder, Victor Salvo. He had a very inspirational and amazing speech that he did for us at the launch, at the ribbon cutting of this. It is located right inside the doors of the Cullum Davis Library on Bradley campus. And it will close on October 23rd. So it launched today, October 11th, and will be open until the 23rd. And just to give you the mission of the Legacy Project illuminates and affirms the lives of lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people to honor their experiences and accomplishments, to collect and preserve their contributions to world history and culture, to educate and inspire the public and young people, and to assure an inclusive and equitable future.
Thank you, Dr. Annie Reinking, for that information. Any other presentations or suggestions by board members? Seeing none, reports from board committees.
The Parent-Teacher Advisory Board, we will be having our meeting on Friday, October 15th at 7:15 a.m. here at the main office.
Thank you, Dr. Reinking.
The
Mr. Chase.
building committee will be meeting on November the 9th at 10 o'clock a.m.
Thank you. Chase.
Policy will be Wednesday, October 20th at 3:30.
Awesome, thank you. Dr. Reinking?
Yeah, I probably should have said this before. I have a request or I guess a request from the building committee. Is there like a one-pager that we could give to the schools that are having their names changed? My son is at one of those schools, and I know the principal I send her things that I can find on the website, but if there was an easy, just kind of one-pager that we could provide to families and principals, I think that would help in understanding the process and kind of sharing that in their Sunday night announcements and other ways like that. So is there one, or can...
No, there's not a one-pager. I mean, there's a process. We're in the middle of the process now.
So is there some place that we can direct families to? Because I was just looking on our website and I can't find it on the Peoria District website.
Yeah,
For a while it was there, but is Thomas here?
We'll work on something, yes.
It's on the front page?
Under district news, yes.
Okay.
It says here.
I know we had this discussion before.
And I found it on there before, and then I just looked tonight and I couldn't find it, so.
District news, it says PPS Board of Education plan for renaming.
Renate, got it. Yep, thank you.
Thank you. Procurement Committee?
We don't have a time set up yet, but we're looking at whether we need to meet every month, but we'll be meeting fairly soon again.
Okay, thank you.
Today was that we met already.
Right.
In October, okay.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn? Thank you.